Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&Chew Guy, and this is the number 10 review of series number 11. Series number 11 is North American Market Snus. So we will be taking a look at another Camel product now that I am back from chew break, and it will be the first of three large pouched Camel products. So let's take a look at this one today, and it is Winterchill. Now you want to note that the can, with the exception of this half rainbow here, is all green, solid, unlike the small pouches that have the chrome around the word Camel. All right. Everything is self-explanatory on the front. Large is denoted right there. Warning label, etc. On the back, you have their little story. Then the picture of the actual camel has underneath it 15 large pouches. There is a date code over here, which is 1 year out. This one is wrong way. H18, so it's good through H19. Barcode, the fact you can recycle it. Underage sale is prohibited. And then the warning label. This shot is showing you pretty well the shrink wrap that goes around the edge. The can is all metal. It's sort of two halves. It's not really a lid in a can. It is basically two even halves that come apart. All right. They have the indentations on the side to help you get, in this case, my cracker, which is a small teaspoon, but somebody's hand can get under there. My hands are pretty beat up, so I don't usually do it that way. All right. So there's the front. On the back, underneath the little story, which I will read just for you. A refreshing winter chill. Simply place a pouch under your lip to enjoy a refreshing blend of cool winter green and tobacco flavor. Grin with confidence when you feel the tingle. So in the front, you go to the back, to the little gay story, and then there are two perforated lines somewhere at the corners here, and that's where you tear off the shrink wrap. All right. Now, I crack these because my hands are all beat up, and sometimes, depending on the can, I have a hard time getting them open. So, okay. On the inside of the lid, there is a white band that they are denoting as the fresh seal. That is actually a gasket. Pouches in the can. Take up the can fully. Now, as you can see, when I say two halves, that is because really it is sort of two halves. I guess the bottom is slightly more metal than the top, but all right. So the pouches are larger. This is a wintergreen. Now I'm going to break them up, although they look like they've been sitting fairly flat. The larger pouches usually don't get stuff packed into one end of the pouch because they basically take up the whole can lying flat, whereas the smaller pouches move around, have a little bit more play, and since they're racked like this, everything settles. These ones are sort of, well, you can sort of see, they're sort of packed in there flat with not too much play to move around inside the tin. So they are larger. I'm not going to say they're as large as a like dip product pouch, but compared to the smaller form from Camel, which is this. These ones are that. They're about the same length. The larger size is about double the girth of the smaller one. All right, is that showing up fairly good? Okay. All right, so I'm going to throw one in up top in the traditional snooze manner, and then I'm going to hit the pause button. And when I come back, I may throw another one in and move it down bottom and see how close it gets to feeling like a lip. So, back in a moment. And I am back. Okay, so I didn't last too long with it up top. I mean, it was comfortable enough. It feels larger, but for the purpose of this review, I have moved it down bottom and added a second pouch. And it feels, and I don't know how much you can see that, but it feels like a smaller lip of long cut, or maybe 2 pouches. It's probably a little smaller than 2 pouches. It depends what the pouches are. If it's Copenhagen, it's about the same as a Copenhagen product, but the tight pouched Skoal Classic products, probably a little bit less. So I'm going to move this around the side. It's a good flavor. It's wintergreen. It's sweet. All right. There is no burn. All right. I don't even get a tingle from this stuff, to tell you the truth. You know, as I said, this stuff will not be able to take the place nicotine-wise of Dip, but for cigarette smokers, it might work. This probably has a little bit more than the small pouches, just due to the size of the pouches and the fact that I put 2 of them in. It's a good flavor, but it's not an it's not a real strong wintergreen. It's definitely sweet, but it's not like real in your face, okay? So it is sweet, but it's not like a lot of flavor. It's not like a Hawken type flavor release. Now, I moved it down bottom just because it was taking too long up top to get any flavor at all. That was my reason, actually, for moving it down. These products, I mean, if you're a cigarette smoker and you're in a situation where spitting isn't really an option, then this would probably be the easiest route to go. Just because it can be found basically anywhere that cigarettes are sold. Or let me contract that. Anywhere Camel cigarettes are sold, which is basically everywhere. And you know, it's easy enough to use. There's not, you know, there's going to be enough nicotine to take the place of a cigarette. Like if you were switching to even, I don't know. It depends on the cigarette that you're smoking, because it's always a question mark what's exactly in them and how much nicotine they're adding. But I mean, one of these pouches would probably do a cigarette smoker fine. If you want to seal the deal, do 2. You don't have to spit. You know, these can't come with catch lids, but, you know, it's easy enough paper towel to get rid of. And the nicotine, if you were switching them out, like, you know, half hourly, it would probably take the place if you were smoking 1 or 2 cigarettes an hour. So, for what it's made for, which is, that's really what this is, R.J. Reynolds trying to retain their clientele through the smoking bans. Let's call it for what it is here. And if that's what it is, it does it fairly well. Personally, from a dipping standpoint, this product right here is probably the closest you're going to get to an actual dipping-like experience, okay? Because it's wintergreen, which is a, you know, standard dip flavor. Because the pouches are larger, you can get away with 2. If you throw in 3, that might actually be better. I'm not going to do that for this review, but so if you were trying to like replicate a dipping experience without having to spit, and we're using a Camel product, this would probably be the one you want to go with. But even with 3 pouches in, it may taste dip-esque, and it may feel sort of like you have a lip in, but you're still not going to have the nicotine, not even with 3 pouches. So, I'm truthfully, this stuff, the Camel line made more sense when it was priced cheaper. But now that it's being priced up in my area at $5 and sometimes a little bit more, it's not making as much sense to me now. You could go and get a general product that's actually real snus, and they do have a wintergreen now that I think about it. I don't think I have ever had it, but I will shortly in this series. And it would probably be more along the lines of dip nicotine-wise. So Camel sort of, but as I said, this is not really, this is, the Camel is not, RJ Reynolds is not making Camel snus to challenge Swedish Match in the snus arena, okay? And it's not trying to win over grizzly dippers from American Snuff, okay? It's real obvious what this is geared towards. And looking at it from that angle, it does it fairly well. I mean, there's nothing unpleasant about it either. I mean, there's nothing sketchy about it. There's nothing unpleasant. You know what you're going to find every time. Consistency is there. It's big tobacco. It's a product from big tobacco. So, I mean, there is no like, oh, geez, wonder what I'm going to find when I open this one up. Nothing like that at all. All right? But real short to recap, wintergreen. I don't know why they say Winterchill. Okay, I am not getting any. It's not like the new Timberwolf or Longhorn. There is no hint of menthol in this. I mean, I couldn't argue that it's not a cool wintergreen, but there's no menthol. So why they went with Winterchill, not quite sure. But it's sweet. It gets stronger flavor-wise, but it's still a pretty backseat wintergreen. It's not going to bowl you over with flavor, and it's definitely not going to bowl you over with nicotine. Somebody from a dipping standpoint wants to do like this because it's large pouches and 2 to 3 of them at a time. But see, if you do 3 of them, it's only 5 dips out of a can because there's only 15 pouches. So now you're at $1 a dip, basically. And that's why it sort of doesn't make sense to someone like me anymore. But at the same time, as I said, there's nothing unpleasant about it. All right? And you don't have to spit. I have never spit with any Camel products. I have never found myself to be slightly nauseated or anything. It's always been absolutely fine. All right? So this has been the review of Camel Winterchill Snus in the larger pouch. I'd like to say hello and thank you to Hacker King. Don't hack me. And I'd like to say hello, and if you guys have subscribed, thank you, to Zep1968 and Travis Herbert. Guys, hope you are well. I hope everyone else is well. Do take care of yourselves, and God bless.